Hey everyone, Brent here from Goalorious. Today I'm super excited to be joined by Joel from Warp.
What's up, everybody?
This
round
is probably
3, man. We're back again.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And even every single time, it just gets more and more exciting. I'm happy that you're here sharing some of the latest updates. I know you guys have been definitely busy. I know you're going to show us some stuff. We're going to talk about things. So let's just jump right into it. Again, if you guys haven't heard about Warp, check out my previous videos. I'll put the link in the description. But let's talk about some of the new stuff. But again, for some people who maybe have missed a couple of things in the past, you could give a quick summary and overview on what Warp is about and kind of where they're headed.
Yeah, totally. So we're heading into season 2 of Warp. That's, we kind of always talked about this back with the previous things you'll see in previous videos. We're always talking about seasons and kind of our season rollout. And so for us as a project that's building in a GameFi environment, we're always like, hey, we're laying foundation work, we're starting somewhere, and now we're growing and we're scaling. And so season 1 of Warp launched. We launched on Polygon back in January, and that was awesome. It was really great. Got the initial boost of our community, the first round of NFTs out, people using the Starship ecosystem. Shortly after that, we launched our own internal NFT marketplace so people can buy and sell Starship NFTs from within our own ecosystem, save on fees, all that stuff. Then we launched our battle arena and our arcade. Our arcade is awesome. It's like a 100-person multiplayer arena style combat that uses the NFT attributes of your ship just in a fun, no stress, no winning, no losing, just go in and just shoot at other people for the fun of it, top down kind of view. And then we had our on-chain battle arena game where you actually submitted your battle bid, and you fought against other starships. It was turn-based strategy. You chose which part of your ship's shields you're going to reinforce, what part of the enemy's ships you were going to target, and basically played that out on the blockchain. And all of that, I mean, a lot of that was quite a lot of content for season 1. And then we launched into our multi-chain environment, and that was kind of our grand finale for season 1. We launched on Phantom Network in April, and with that came our WARPGate, and we're actually the first project that has ever created its own internal solution to allow you to send one NFT or to send your Starship NFT, a NFT in general, from one chain to the other. So if you're on Polygon and you had your Starship with all of its fuel, its experience points, any battle damage, any of that stuff that is associated with the Starship, you can actually send that NFT through the WARPGate. It'll emerge from the Polygon universe onto the Phantom universe, and now you can actually use it on Phantom Network, which is really cool. And so that for us was kind of like the big hurrah at the end, which meant that people could have access to new communities, access to new marketplaces. We could run chain-specific events, all that sort of stuff. So that kind of wrapped up all of season 1. Now we're back here with you guys, with the amazing, glorious community, to talk about freaking Warp season 2.
Nice.
How's that for a summary? Was that good?
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely got me hyped up. Obviously, I've been a fan of this. A disclaimer: I do own my own Starship. That's awesome. My Synapse Starhammer. It's probably parked on some planet somewhere. I checked it like I checked it like a week ago. I don't know if I'm using optimally. I've been busy, but I think it's great. You definitely offer something for everyone, any type of user, and I'm excited for season 2 and for all things to come. So maybe we could talk a little bit about that. Again, I want to make sure I'm not asking for any spoilers or anything like that. I want to make sure that the things that you share are definitely things that you're willing to share, but I always love hearing about these new things. This project was definitely something I've talked about lots of projects in the past. This one definitely has stuck out to me, and I'm happy to be a part of talking to you today, and I'm also happy to be part of the community. So let's jump into it and talk about all the things Warp season 2.
Yeah, so season 2 really is like, it's a fundamental shift in many ways. Everything that we've been building up to in season 1, we had a lot of those kind of the DeFi heavy aspect, kind of the rebasing token models, staking, all that stuff. All of that is shifting now into really embracing the game element and the game aspect. We've redone the entire interface. I'm about to show it to you guys. Actually, the Goalorious community is the first one who's ever going to see this stuff outside of our test environment, so super excited to show. I'll share my screen here in a second, but we've completely changed everything. I mean, it's the foundations are still there, and the cool thing for all the season 1 token holder as well as season 1 starship owner, all of that stuff is transferring into season 2 automatically, and so you're going to have everything that you've been doing in your season 1 starships is going to come in and retain its essence, retain its value in season 2. So really excited about that. But basically, we're really embracing the game element of GameFi. So everybody's talking GameFi. It's always a big thing. You know, we want people to make money and have fun doing it. Is kind of the core part, right? But really, we want it to feel more like a game. Season 1 of Warp felt like a cool web experiment, and now we're a game. And we wanted to build it in a way that was optimal for the community. You know, there's a lot of these games out there, these GameFi blockchain-based games that are running in Unity, and they have 3D apps, and they're really complicated, but the performance metrics are high. You have to download an app sometimes, download an executable. You can run them in a WebGL environment, but people with lower end computers and stuff like that may struggle to play, and the gameplay experience wasn't good. So we're like, hey, we're going to actually build a vibrant, beautiful, super dynamic world, and we're going to do it with almost no cost. Right now, like, we're testing it. Like, our game environment runs on like a 6-year-old out-of-date web browser, no issues, because we're doing a lot of the pre-rendering on the front end, and that's obviously my background in Hollywood and all that stuff if you've seen my previous videos. So really excited about that, but it is I'll show you guys kind of what we're doing. Really, our fundamental change, I would say, for season 2 is that we have now, everything is centralized around what we're calling Primus starport. So Primus starport is now our new game ecosystem. We're building in a kind of what we're calling the Web 2.5 environment. Some of you guys might have heard that stuff going around. When we launched our Battle Arena game, it was all running on the blockchain, secure and verified smart contracts, all that sort of stuff. But as you guys are familiar with, sometimes you submit a transaction, it takes a while for that transaction to go through, then it might even take a while longer for the RPC to update, and you're sitting there waiting. If you're doing DeFi stuff, that's great, right? Like, if I'm moving money around, that's fine. I don't care if it takes me 3 minutes. I want to make sure it's good. If I'm trying to attack a starship, it's not very fun, right? And so what we've built, because of the technology that we used for the WARPGATE with our secure message sending to allow users to actually verifiably send starships from one chain to another, we built on that ecosystem, and now we have Primus starport. And so the way it'll work in season 2 is that we're actually going to be launching our season 2 token that will be claimable for people who have tokens on Phantom and Polygon. They're going to get it on BSC. And you're actually going to be able to get access to all the token liquidity there, and then you'll deposit your tokens into the Primus starport ecosystem. And from there, we're going to have the throughput, the speed, the security of an incredibly fast transaction times running there inside of BSC, inside of that Web 2.5 environment. And then when you're done and you're ready to cash out on any of the gains you've gotten, the mini games you've played, all that sort of stuff, you'll withdraw your tokens, and then you can trade them on any exchange. The other cool thing is that the NFTs, we still have the WARPGATE, so we're going to be launching the season 2 Warp collection of NFTs on Phantom, Binance, Avalanche, and Polygon, which means that you'll be able to have an NFT presence and utilize the game and on all your holdings, your starships on any of these chains. And then if you want to get access to the token itself, you can put it inside of Binance. But the biggest change with that, and this is the big news for all you guys, is that starting with season 2, all starships are going to earn warp credits, warp tokens every single day that are claimable from within the ecosystem. So how does that work? Well, you have your starship. The stronger your starship it is, the more valuable your components, the more tokens it's going to be earning each day. Now, these aren't tokens that you can just immediately withdraw out on the ecosystem, right? We're building a safe, secure, economical platform. What it means that these credits are one-to-one with the warp token in terms of value, but you have to utilize them in the ecosystem first. So you can upgrade your starship, buy fuel, repair your starship with these tokens, or you can submit them for battle bids against other players and chance of winning that battle. We have starship racing that's coming just after season 2 launch. You'll be able to submit your warp token bid for starship, and then race against other players for winning those tokens. Or with our expeditions, you can use those tokens to buy fuel, send your starship out on an expeditions, and it could come back with unique NFTs. It could come back with fuel. It could come back with even a derelict starship. I'll show you guys that here in just a second, kind of how that all is going to work. But the big thing is that your starships are earning free tokens per day that are usable inside of the Primus starport ecosystem. And then if you're winning, you're getting those gains, and you can take those tokens and withdraw them off the out of the starport and then actually trade them on BSC. So that's like a huge fundamental shift. So everybody who has season 1 warp starships, you're automatically going to start earning, and you can claim those tokens. And then as we head into season 2 and we bring in bigger and newer communities, as people are coming in and they're acquiring these starships, buying them off the secondhand market, building them in our factory, whatever that looks like, now you're going to be able to have for free those tokens given to you each day that allows you to play in the ecosystem. And then if you want to play more, right, you buy the tokens off the market to put them into the starport, and then you can actually start to utilize them inside of that thing. So it's that's really kind of the biggest fundamental shift. There's all kinds of other things, new features. We have a bunch of new mini games that are coming out as a part of that. But in terms of like seismic shifts, I'd say that's it.
Yeah, and you mentioned a lot of great things. Definitely exciting. I mean, for me, I think it's a great direction that you guys are going in, and like obviously you guys kind of use season 1 as like setting up. People got some ships, and now you're like, hey, let's have more ways for people to engage with our project. That could be games, that could be other features that you're doing. Like you mentioned the new racing game, that sounds exciting. But you really want people to come back and interact with your game and all the NFTs. And I think that's awesome. Definitely, I want to jump in and check it out. I'll have to ask you again at the end about like timing, but I know you mentioned season 2. Maybe briefly you can say, okay, because I kind of want to make sure my community knows, hey, there is still time to get prepared, to get ready for this update. I come from a background of playing lots of video games and things like that. And I'm always like, hey, there's a content update coming here. That's great. I'm excited about it. But what can I do today to prepare for that? So maybe briefly you could say, okay, you guys it's still season 1 until X date, unless you guys, even if it's roughly, you guys know when that's going to be.
Yeah. So this is actually a very exciting thing for us. So when we and I mentioned this before, when we did our previous season 1, we as a team, we used our own funds to raise liquidity. We didn't do any pre-sales, we didn't do any IDOs, we didn't do any investor seed fund, any of that sort of stuff, because we wanted to launch Warp as our proof of concept to show to the world, hey, like we can do this, we can build on top of it, we can do a fair launch, all that sort of stuff. So when people came in on both Polygon and Phantom, we had a 100% fair launch environment. Us as a team, we bought our own tokens. I still hold Warp tokens, so it's just like that's how we did it. For season 2, now that we're actually starting to get significant traction, we're actually building up in our partnerships. We're starting to get some really exciting exclusives that we're going to announce very shortly. We are now stepping into what we consider to be really the launch, like the true launch of Warp and everything that it is. Warp season 1, again, that was really built on kind of a DeFi rebasing sort of protocol. This one here is really built on Warp as a token. Is a season 2 Warp token is a in-game currency. It has in-game currency value. Everything we're doing around is an in-game currency. So that requires us to change some of those metrics a little bit. So season 1 Warp token holders will be able to exchange at a 1-to-1 value into season 2, but we're dropping the price. Right now I think the price of Warp token is $150 a token or something. At launch we're going to do that about 4 or 8 cents a token, I think. So a lot of people get access to a lot of Warp token itself. But then to answer your question, what we're doing as a part of season 2 is we're doing 2 cool things. One is that we're partnering with some of the top launch pads out there. So we're actually launching season 2 Warp token as an IDO. So you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to buy in season 2 Warp token. And we're going to be announcing that on our social media and on our Discord actually a week from today. So today is Friday. Actually, what is today's date?
The 22nd.
Friday the 22nd.
Got it. Okay.
So I believe next Friday we are going to be launch on our social media, on our Twitter, on our Discord. We're going to be talking about all the launch pads that we have on board, and there's a lot of them. They're all amazing. And then we're also going to be talking about being able to come in and buy the starships. So we have a new brand of starship that's
Yes,
coming
yes.
out for season 2. It's called the Pioneer class. It's super awesome. I'll show you guys a quick preview of it when I'm sharing my screen, because I love giving you guys some alpha. Just like, hey, here's like, I love sharing my screen with you guys. It's awesome. So gonna show off the new Pioneer, and the cool thing with the Pioneer is we're doing as a part of that pre-mint series is if you do come in and you buy the Pioneer at pre-mint value, it'll never come in again. It's the only time it'll show up in our ecosystem. You won't be able to buy it from the factory, any of that sort of stuff. But also they have a new rarity bonus. So for example, if your starship earns, I'm just throwing out numbers, don't quote me on this, but let's say your starship earns, $1 per day in warp, which I think there's usually about where the base level starships are going to come in is around $1 a day, give or take, how the whole ecosystem is doing. But if you get a starship that comes in and you buy a pre-mint Pioneer, you'll actually have a chance to get a 1.5x up to a 10x bonus. It's like the highest rarity, I believe, is a
Yeah,
10x bonus. So that means
like 10x. I think
your
it said
starship.
something. I said it's something like only like 1 or 2% of it can earn that 10x bonus. But even
Exactly.
but
It's very rare.
but it's cool because each one of the different tiers all give some sort of bonus. Even if you get
They all give some sort of
the
bonus.
least rare one, it's still a 10% bonus,
Exactly.
which is still awesome. Obviously, I found about Warp not at launch. I kind of found out about it later on. I was still fortunate enough to get I kept checking to make sure I got a good ship, but I definitely there was
You
definitely
got such a good deal, dude. I was so jealous. I was like, man, shoot, did you
I know
got a
you were gonna
Synapse
grab
chip,
it,
the
or one of you
Synapse
guys gonna grab it.
Starhammer? Yep.
But I was gonna say, like, yeah, I definitely, the earlier you are, definitely is the best opportunity to get it at the best price, and because of the fact that, especially now these bonuses are in effect, definitely going to pay back, relatively quickly.
Yeah,
So,
and exactly, and that
not
and the cool
financial
thing is
advice, but
you
yes.
can- no, of course. I mean, ultimately, it's a game, guys, right? That's just how it is. It's a game. We're all playing games here, and so it's. I hope nobody's dumping life savings into games, right? But just for fun, right, and being able to play against other players, I mean, that's a cool thing. You could come in, you can get one of these cool Pioneer class starships, and then you can. It's earning money per day. You can compound that by putting it in and upgrading your starship with the money that it's making, which gives it more power, which gives it more money per day. And so there's kind of like that cool loop where you can actually beef up your ship, and then the stronger it is, the better it's going to be in battles, the better it'll do in races, the better it'll do on expeditions, all that sort of stuff. So it really is like we're really trying to create that playground where people can come in and play. They can get that starship, they can have access to a ship, they can get one cheap off the marketplace if somebody else is selling it, and then they can actually continue to play for free, right? Because their starship is earning those credits that can be utilized in the ecosystem in every single way, right? We're not restricting people from saying, oh no, you can't like buy fuel or you can't bid and more. Like anything that you can do in the ecosystem, you can do with the warp credits that get earned by your starship every single day. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
so let me dive in real quick. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could go start presenting your screen, but I was gonna say, I love the look. Obviously, kudos to you and your team. The look of these ships. In case you guys haven't seen it, definitely click the link for them in the description. They look great, and for me, more things to do with my awesome ship, the better. First of all, thanks for showing us all these things. We appreciate it. We love all the artwork. Again, I'll put the links here for you guys to check it out. But like I said, it definitely makes you feel like you're part of this world that you're building, and giving us more ways to interact with it, I think is a great idea. So feel free to jump in and talk about what we're looking at and all the great things to come.
So here is, I'm just showing you guys here, this is in our live build environment. This is now, in fact, I'll just go ahead and do a refresh so you guys can see this is all running. So this here you can see is Primus starport off in the distance. And so this is our new game map, or game environment. You can zoom in and out. The cool thing is, we're still building it. You can see there are some subtle changes here as we're building out some animation elements. The cool thing, I love little details. I'm all about these little details. We detect what current time it is on your system. So if you come back here at nighttime, you'll actually see the night mode, or you can manually toggle it up here. And the cool thing is you go inside of each building, for example, like coming down here into our racing center, you'll see here it's nighttime. We've got the cool reflections down here in the water, but then you can switch it back up to daytime and then head back out to the map. So I'm a nerd when it comes to little details like this, but as I mentioned, all of this stuff right now is running. We're using an engine called Phaser. It's all running using JavaScript, which means that it's incredibly light to load. We're able to pull in a lot of amazing assets. You can see we have all these cool animations and things that are running. So this is kind of showing all the different buildings that we have available in the starport. So just kind of as a brief overview for you guys, here's our battle arena. This is carrying over from season 1, where you'll be able to battle other starships. We have our racing center over here, which is responsible for when you actually send out your starships in races against other ships themselves. The Galactic Club we're really excited about. Again, this is, I should preface it, this is our demo map, so we're going to be releasing this to the community for everybody to just click around and see, and you can read the different descriptions of what each building is. But at season 2 launch, you'll actually go inside of these buildings. But the Galactic Club, we've got a bunch of on-chain mini games, things that you guys can play that are just for fun, little things that you can do with your warp tokens or with your starship. Nothing high stakes like the battle arena or the expeditions or the racing center. Just just fun little mini games. And then we have our expeditions. I'm really excited about expeditions. It's really cool. When you come to the expeditions hall, you now be able to choose. Okay, here are all the different types of expeditions I want to send my starship out on. We have like rescue missions, we have charting missions, we have cargo delivery, all that sort of stuff. And then you get to choose what's your risk reward ratio. So if you want high risk situation, you can send your starship out on a riskier quest, which means it may come back damaged. It may come back with, but it may come back with better loot. The one thing that we did as a priority for us is that every expedition is successful. So no matter what you send your starship out on, it will come back successfully completing your quest. But the stronger your strength component for your bridge, the more experience your starship has, and also how much fuel you put into your starship as you send it out and back again will determine some of those success metrics. One of the cool things is we still are maintaining a lot of our incredible partnerships that we've built up over the last 6 months, and a lot of our partners have actually donated and are going to continue to donate different NFTs to our project, meaning that if you send your starship out on a quest, it might come back with one of our partners' NFTs. So for example, some of you guys may have heard of like Penguin Carts or MetaPets, or Stumble to Rumble. That's a fan of the guys. These guys are really awesome. They're building really cool game projects, and what they're doing is they're giving us an allocation of their NFTs. So as you send your starship out, it may come back with one of our partners' NFTs, and you can then take that NFT and use it in their ecosystem, which is really cool. So we're really building that kind of that metaverse type of world where we're having a bigger reach and bigger possibilities for you guys to play in our with our partners projects than if you're just connected to us alone.
Yeah, I love that
really
idea.
Excited about expeditions.
I love the partnerships that I know that before you had some partnerships where you had them like you branded on the ships and things like that.
Yep.
So it's great to see that you continue to do these. I think they're really important. I always say on my channel that I think projects that work with other projects and expand their network is really how you be successful. Obviously, it shows that they are committed to, they really value what you guys are doing and think what you guys are doing is great. And I think it's just a great opportunity for on both sides. There could be like special events or things like that. Maybe they have a new NFT drop that you can only get through through Warp. But I think it's exciting, and it's definitely a great way to keep both communities engaged. So,
well, and you mentioned that, which I thought was great. So we have over here, this is our docking port. This is actually a little secret thing we have planned for those who notice it, but now everybody's seeing it. So, but the docking port.
Cool,
so one of the cool things we're doing is mid-season events, and so the docking port is when we have a merchant ship that comes from other multiverses that come in here, and that the merchant ship is going to be containing exclusive one-off NFTs, both from us and from our partners, that are only available for purchase for a limited time. So you might be able to get, for example, well, I can't actually talk about any of them, but if we have a specific NFT partner out there, we're going to be doing a Warp X that partner NFT collaboration, and some of them have unique properties that get unlocked in our game. Some of them get to have unique properties that are unlocked in these other partners' games or their ecosystems, and some of them are just really cool. And the cool thing is that we can do stuff like donate profits to charity. We can do revenue shares. We can do returns, all that stuff. So like we're wanting the merchant ship to really be a hub for where cool artwork and collaboration can come through, and that's all going to come through the docking port, which is pretty cool. So that's something we're excited about.
Yeah, and it said here again, if you guys are interested in this, obviously follow them on Discord and Twitter. I'll when you guys do your announcements next Friday as well, I'll also make sure to retweet you guys so you guys know. But the idea is that you guys want to stay in the loop so that you guys know about all these exciting things. And then the one thing I just wanted to chime in with was obviously great artwork, but also the fact that I'm always looking for, especially since like crypto as a whole is down, I'm always looking now for more ways to interact with the projects that I'm interested in, right? Like I don't want to have to, I think we all kind of learn like, oh, there's, we don't want tokens that we invest in to be subject to like public opinion or how things are doing in the market. We want to be in part of an ecosystem that's growing and, it's kind of doing things outside of everything that's happening. So my point is, if you are part of the work ecosystem, you're just focusing on everything that they're doing, you're kind of, it's, even though it's on chain, it's still very different than everything out there, and I think that's kind of just like a point that I wanted to do. And I've been talking a lot about that on my channel, is finding NFT projects that are more than what they are and how you can interact with them and really grow with them in the future. And I think all the things you're showing me today is getting me excited about where this project is going, and these are the type of projects that I want to continue to focus on. And this is really like the future of NFTs, future of the whole entire space. And I know you guys are tapping into GameFi, and I think this is the stuff that the stuff that I'm actually personally interested in, and that's why I'm happy that you guys are talking with me today. So.
Yeah, and that's, I'll just click around a couple of these buildings while I feedback on that, because I think what you said is really important. For us, like, here's the hangar, right? So here's the different starships that you'll be able to access and repair and upgrade and all that jazz. But like, as for each different piece that we're building, as we're looking at expanding season 2, season 3, all that different stuff, like we keep asking ourselves, okay, what's going to keep us going? Like what's going to keep us building, what's going to keep us developing. When we launched on Phantom, right, we launched right at that first major downheaval that started a lot of the crypto sell-off, and we go, okay, like what are going to be like the different components that we go into season 2, knowing that, hey, we didn't have like an explosively successful multi-chain launch. Well, for us, again, we're building the foundation step by step, growing this project, heading into all these different environments, getting all these partnership connections. Each different piece is a part of growing the bigger picture. We're not trying to target and look at, okay, what's our token price today? What's our NFT floor? How many people are using it? It's like, no, we're building something that's going to attract people. And no matter what we do, we're going to keep building and we're going to keep working to attract people. And that's because that's the kind of project I want to be involved in. I don't want to be in something that goes, well, we gave it our shot, I guess we'll just burn everything to the ground and go try something else. I mean, we're heading into our second season, and we've been hard at work and building this incredible map that we're really excited about and really excited to show off to the rest of the world. So let me also real quick, I'm going to share my other tab. This is our yet to be updated season 2, or yet to be launched season 2 website. So the season 2 is coming in. We have a really cool trailer video that we released. Maybe I might actually send that video to you just in case you want it, because it might be a cool intro. But season 2 Warp was a big component for us as we built this trailer. So you can see we have all those new graphics and stuff that's coming in. So here's a little bit just on Primus starport coming in and being a part of everything that's going on in this little micro ecosystem. You have your starships. Here's the new Pioneer class starship that's showing up here as a part of our new release, and yeah, so here you can see we're really excited about the Pioneer.
It looks awesome.
I actually did all the graphics. Again, that's my background, but you can see I superimpose like Pioneer wheels next to our really cool
I see it
ship.
Yeah, it looks great.
So these are the Pioneer class starship is the new ones that are coming in. You can kind of see maybe a little bit of a preview of what they look like as an NFT. So we have all the different a procedural variation. This one here has shark fins on the top of it, which I think looks really cool. We have all the different colors, different interiors and exteriors. So
have you released a different type of ship since last time we spoke?
We did actually, yeah. The Delgado came out.
The Delgado
okay. Was our Phantom exclusive. So when we launched on Phantom, we had the new Delgado ship. So now, yeah, we're up to 12 ship archetypes.
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot more than what I've seen. What am I? Yeah, got it. No, that's great, and I think it's good because different options for people, different styles. I think, like I said, that's kind of like my whole idea, and I think you guys are obviously thinking about that too. Is something for everyone. Maybe someone wants to go to the arena, someone wants to do expeditions. Literally something for everyone, and even from a ship level, like maybe some ships resonate with some people than others. So I think that's great.
Exactly. So yeah, we've been hard at work. We're really trying to build something special, something that we think is cool, that has legs to stand on. Again, for people who want to be involved, our main website is transitioning over to season 2. It's got some teasers for season 2, but we're officially transitioning over early next week with a little bit of that preview that I showed you guys there. Follow us on our socials. Be sure to stay tuned to what we're doing, especially with the IDO and with the exclusive pre-mint that we're doing for the people who do want to come in and get access. This is a project where we've actually committed. We're not going to be switching out our token mechanics. The main token mechanics between season 1 and season 2 warp token was just primarily because we changed the whole economic model, but that was part of the plan in general. But after this, like, if people are buying in at the IDO, if they are buying in at launch price, if they are buying in with the pre-mint for the Pioneer class Starship, like, this is going to be it. This is in our ecosystem going forward. We're never going to do this again. We're not going to do another launch again. This is it. So with all of the kind of momentum and effort that we've been building to get to this point, of course, it's, we're in a bear market. Like, we've put a lot of work and a lot of time and effort into this. We have our fingers crossed, hope that it's gonna go well, that people see the potential. But even if not, like, we're still gonna keep going, because that's what we do. And we're gonna continue to build, and we're gonna continue to develop. We're gonna continue to make connections. And so, as for people who are coming in and really do want to grow with us as a project, I mean, it's really easy to grow a project when it's a bull market and everybody's making lots of money, right? To me, I've found a lot of these projects have just gone silent. There's not any updates. There's nothing really going on. People are unsure of what's doing. For us, like, as you can see, we are working hard. And so I hope that people will trust us, trust our ability to be able to grow the project during an economic downturn when, things are a little bit more uncertain, knowing that if this is what it's like right now, if this is what we're capable of doing right now, imagine what we can do as the project gets momentum and explodes, especially with the connections and stuff that we're getting with BSC and growing it, into that whole market. And I mean, like, the doors we believe are going to open up. So that could be my optimism. We'll come on for round 3
I 100%
and be like, here we go.
I 100% agree with everything you said. Obviously, I get exposed to a lot of projects. A lot of them have just been waiting for something to happen, but you guys keep pushing, and that's great. That's why I was super excited to be talking with you today. Obviously, all the things that you're doing is definitely, getting people excited, getting the community excited. That's why I assume your community has constantly been growing. I keep checking your Discord and Twitter, and the numbers keep growing. It just shows that all the hard work that you're doing is really paying off. So, like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll put the link in the description for you guys to check this out. It's great that you guys keep pushing on this. I keep seeing the partners increasing as much as possible, and I think that's great. One thing I did want to mention was, as a fan of Star Citizen, I actually I bought a ship in Star Citizen, and I don't even want to say the price, how much I paid for that. It was $275. But my point is,
you don't want to know how much money I've put into Star Citizen. You don't want to know.
I probably don't want to know. But the idea is that I don't, a project, like, there's lots of project. It's not affiliate. It's not on the blockchain, things like that. But there's projects out there where I buy the ship and it just sits there. I don't do anything with it. But I think your whole entire idea is that, hey, you buy something, you buy the ship. There's a ton of things that you could do with it. Obviously, other projects out there that you could have stopped at that. Hey, you have your ship and you just sit there, you don't do anything. But every single time I check the website, talk to you, there's even more and more things you can do with it and utilize it and be a part of the world. And I think that's what's exciting. And you really value the user, because you're like, thanks for investing in the ship. We want to make it really valuable, and we really appreciate you being part of the community. I think every time I see these updates from you, that's what I think in the back of the mind when
that's exactly right.
Like Star Citizen, they were happy with the money they got from Kickstarter and things that they've gotten. They're like, yeah, thanks for your money. We'll build at our pace, but you guys keep pushing really hard with the seasons, with everything that you're doing, and I think it's awesome. So I can't wait to learn more about that. And maybe you could tell me offline how much you spend in Star Citizen.
We should definitely keep that. I didn't make sure my wife does it here.
I asked for permission either way, but beforehand she wasn't happy. But anyways, so again, kudos to you. I will definitely keep
Thanks, man.
my community updated on that. I appreciate you sharing all this stuff with me today. For you guys, maybe the last thing you could mention, I kind of said it earlier, how should my community, if they want to get prepared, should they be on the marketplace looking for ships? Should they be joining the community? Should they be preparing for the IDO, marking on their calendars? How do you think they should go best about that?
Yeah, I mean, to us, honestly, the IDO is going to be huge. That's going to be really big for us. I mean, a lot of these GameFi projects have exploded. A lot of them have, massive amount of volume that come in. We can hope for that. I mean, it's crypto, right? Fingers crossed. But generally speaking, we have a really solid foundation. And the cool thing is that we're doing our IDO, and then 3 weeks later, after our IDO's finished, we're launching season 2, right? So this isn't like a lot of these projects are coming in. You might be buying tokens, you might be buying NFTs, and they're building this crazy huge, open world game, and you have no idea when it's going to come out. I mean, getting some hashtag Star System vibes, right? And you hope that it's going to come out, but you don't know when. Like for us, we want a lot of it we want to be instant gratification. We also want to show people like, hey, we're not biting off more than we can chew. We're launching these seasonal updates that give you new content, new features, new things you can do with those starships, as you mentioned. And we don't want there to be a long delay between somebody seeing an investment and then being able to actually play with their investment, right? And so for us, that IDO I think is going to be huge. You're going to be able to use those tokens right inside of the ecosystem. You're not having to wait very long. And then also just the Pioneer class, the pre-mint. I mean, this is a great opportunity to get starships that will only ever be available during the pre-mint period. They also have that new bonus attribute modifier, which means you'll be able to come in and you can get those bonuses on how much your starship earns per day. And they're coming in they're super powerful, like 3,000 strength starships. Like these things are beefcakes. They're going to be dominating in the battlefield. They're going to be doing the best on expeditions. They're going to be strong in races. That's not to say other players won't be able to have an advantage, because we're building a game. We want it to be fun, right, for everybody. But at the same time, this is a great time to get in. And then as you've done, you bought that Starhammer. This is a thing that you can buy and you can hold on to it. You name your starship, you carry it with you, and as we head over into season 3, 4, 5 and beyond of Warp, that starship will always, we are never going to make a starship outmoded, right? It's never going to become to the point where you can never use it. This is your thing. So when you guys invest in us as a project, you're along with us in the long run, and we're going to continue to provide use cases for you to use that ship and to grow it and expand it and even take it to other games. I mean, I can't even talk too much about it, but just the cross game, cross platform integration is really cool, and we're having a lot of those conversations too. So so come on in on the IDO if you're interested. That information will be there on our socials, and then also come in on this pre-sale. And then there's some great starship deals. People are still buying, selling starships on Polygon and on Phantom through our marketplace, app.warp.game, and you can get a starship. You can browse through, see some of these exclusive ones that have popped up that are very rare. People are snatching them up, but it's totally up to you kind of how you want to do it. But we're excited, and as always, it is a pleasure to get to talk to you in the Goalorious community. So thanks for having me back.
No worries. I always can't wait to learn about all the next seasons, everything going on. But I'll let you guys know about the IDO. I'll make sure to retweet so you guys are up to date on everything and know about it. But I appreciate the time, appreciate you showing all the stuff. I'll put all these links in the description, and I think it's exciting. So thanks for your time today. I'm super excited about Warp now and in the future, and I just can't wait to see all this stuff come to life. So thanks, Joel. Good luck on everything, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right, bye,
thanks
everybody.
Everyone. See ya.
Nice.
Cool.